Hello, it's time to talk about the tropics again with our daily tropical forecast here on YouTube. Now, Fred, of course, made landfall yesterday, and now it's racing up here to the north, to the east. Lots of showers associated with this, and also tornado watch in effect from parts of western Virginia, Carolinas as well. That's going to go into the evening hours. When you have that spinning from the tropical storm itself, that is a good kind of a future thing for anything that would be a tornado and that spinning part of the atmosphere. But that's going to be going away. We're not going to talk about Fred anymore. Onree is still out here. We'll talk about that in a second. But Grace is a bigger concern for us simply because it is going to be heading into the Gulf of Mexico. Winds are up to 50 miles per hour. Now it's been skirting just here to the north of Jamaica, but we have tropical storm warnings in effect from Jamaica, for Cuba. And then in the western parts of Cuba here, that's tropical storm watch. It is moving to the west at 15 miles per hour. So a couple of things. It's stronger today. It's moving faster today. And that is also going to mean that it could become a hurricane before it makes it to the Yucatan Peninsula. So the forecast is changing. Now, the only thing that's changing with the forecast for Grace is the strength and the speed. Nothing is changing as far as for the most part, where it's going to go. It's going to make a beeline right to Cozumel as a Category 1 hurricane. It's going to move across the Yucatan, go straight into Mexico. In fact, with each model run, so we just got the last 4 p.m. update, pushes it more and more to the south, just a little bit each time. That's also the trend that the models are showing too. So it's not going to have any impact on us up here in the Houston area, except for maybe some swells out there by the beaches, maybe some rip currents just because the energy coming off of this. That would be about it. So as far as our confidence though, when you see these storm systems, and you've seen them before, where we have the computer generated models, we call it the spaghetti plot, where they're all over the place. And it really does look like a bowl of spaghetti. Boy, not with this one. Not at all. Look at how tight that formation is. And that's going out for several days. Now, Ian, as we go on towards the weekend, now notice, do you see what I'm talking about? How the forecast has it just to the north of us. The modeling keeps trending downwards. Now, this is something you might want to know, is that the models come out and then the meteorologists look at it and then develop their forecast. So whenever you're watching the National Hurricane Center forecast, which by the way is the cone, very easy to see, then if you look at the spaghetti plots and notice if they're moving or trending to move down and the forecast hasn't moved there yet, it's just because it takes time for the meteorologists to read what's going on with the models to then change the forecast. So if you want to see what's going to happen in the future, just watch the models. And if you really just do a down and dirty, take the very average of the models or just go like right down the middle of what the models are saying, you're almost always going to be pretty close to where the forecast is going to be. Now, I talked about this yesterday, how each forecast continues to push it more to the south because this high pressure, it's running the show, and as it starts to push back and comes back towards the west, it will continue to push this down to the south. So that's what we're going to be watching for, and all of that means is it's just good for us. But I also, when I say that, I feel badly for anybody in Mexico that will have to be dealing with this. Okay, let's talk about Henri for just a second. Now, winds are at 65 miles per hour. Okay, so that has grown. It is moving to the west-southwest at 2. Now, what's really interesting is that, okay, I showed you the high pressure that's going to push Grace. Well, that high pressure has also been part of what's driving on the other side of the high pressure, what's going to be helping to push Henri just around. Now, let's put this into motion. There it goes. As it tries to come towards the U.S., that high pressure is going to push it off back to the north and to the east again. And at this point, it does look like it might become a hurricane. Now, this is all offshore. Now, another thing that's going to help is that there is another front that's going to come down for the northeastern U.S. That whole thing will push it away. So Henri, which is also another interesting thing, is just going to make a big circle basically around Bermuda. So they may get rain out of this in Bermuda for several days and some pretty good surf, but that should be about it as it kind of works its way around. All right, let's go all the way to Africa now and see what's coming next. So at this time of year, we watch what we call tropical waves or waves of energy coming off of Africa. And every now and again, one of those waves will start to circulate just a little bit, and then the thunderstorms start to come together. So we saw this a little bit here. This little system here, though, the upper level winds seem to be kind of pushing that around. But I'm watching this. Look at this gigantic wave. Now, it's not a tropical wave right now. Right now, it's a continental wave of energy, of hot air, and it would be interesting to see what that does. Now, we are moving to the height of hurricane season. We don't even get there until the second week of September. So we have a lot to go through before we can start to see things improving as far as letting our guard down just a little bit. But as you know, we just can't do that yet. But we'll keep watching these things out there. But currently, nothing is pointed at Southeast Texas. I like to be able to say that in August. Anytime I can say that in August, we're doing something right, or at least something's going well for us. Of course, we're going to keep our eye on Grace as it continues to head to the south. And I've said this yesterday, I'm going to say it again today. The best time to work on getting your hurricane supplies is when nothing is pointed towards us. So even today, I went to the store today, I noticed that our water supplies, not that they were low, but they weren't full like I like them to be. And when I say full, meaning I've got plenty of reserves in case something ever happens. So today I went to the store, got more water. It was really easy, not a big deal. Nobody thought I was hoarding it or anything, because there's plenty of water to go around. Now's the time to do those sorts of things. All right, that's our update for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll have a whole band of new things to talk about then.